The Angry Red Planet, directed by Ib Melchior in 1959, is an unintentionally amusing depiction of the first manned mission to Mars. The first 10 minutes are solid and fairly tense. The MR-1 rocket ship, initially assumed lost, is brought safely back to Earth, but 2 of the crew members are dead, and one, Gerald Moore, is gravely ill with an alien infection growing on his arm. Much of the film is told through flashbacks, as Dr. Iris Ryan, Nora Hayden, must remember what happened to Moore so that the doctors can cure him. The performances are strong, and the endearing crew members have a lot of charisma, especially the quirky, jolly Jack Crucian. But it's almost impossible to take the film seriously when it throws lame production values, ridiculous science, and so much absurd wildlife at our heroes. The acting remains consistently good, but the crew members are far too blasé about the carnivorous plants, giant amoebas, and force fields they encounter. It's hard to view these dangerous entities as threatening after watching the crew's disinterested reactions. Moreover, I think I'd be more animated by the simple fact of being on Mars. The most iconic image from the film is the silly bat-rat-spider creature, a monster worthy of Godzilla brought to life by an ungainly puppet and some poor scaling. It's usually unfair to complain about the technology in 1950s science fiction movies, but the visuals in The Angry Red Planet are a whopping failure. The film uses a technique called cinemagic to give the Mars scenes a red tint, and have the animations blend in with the live-action footage, but the hand-drawn images are still obviously fake, and the cinemagic effect makes the live-action footage appear lurid and blurry. The smudgy cinemagic effect really is unpleasant to watch. You can forgive some of the scientific inaccuracies, as the film was made only 2 years after Sputnik 1, the first man-made object to orbit the Earth, and 5 years before Mariner 4 made the first flyby of Mars. Director Ib Melchior had little knowledge of Mars to go on in his depiction of Mars, but the end result, with bat-rat spiders and googly-eyed amoebas, is still very silly, and the rest of the science is complete and utter baloney. Here is a rundown of the worst examples. Single-celled organisms are rarely able to grow past the size of a full stop, let alone swallow up a rocket. Amoebas can't choose. How can a plant function without chlorophyll? If anything, a plant on Mars would need more chlorophyll to make use of the weaker sunlight. A trip to Mars and back would take at least a year, not 4 months. And why would Les Tremaine's character smoke a pipe in an enclosed spaceship with a finite oxygen supply? That last one really bugged me throughout the film. Finally, the film shoehorns a weak Day the Earth Stood Still pacifist message into its conclusion. The Martian inhabitants allow the astronauts to leave only on the condition that they never return to Mars, as the Martians are offended by humanity's violent, juvenile nature. Unlike The Day the Earth Stood Still, which had a strong military focus and a trigger-happy soldier putting Klaatu in the hospital, The Angry Red Planet gives no context for its final message. Jack Crucian does love his sonic rifle, but this weapon is used purely in self-defense against the animals attacking him and his crew members. It feels as if Melchior is just copying the ending of The Day the Earth Stood Still, with little thought for the meaning.
Dr. Gordon. How is he? Is he getting worse?
I'm afraid so.
The only good elements of this film are the solid performances, engaging dialogue, and the ludicrous, so-bad-they're-good effects and creatures. The Angry Red Planet is a fun bit of campy nostalgia, but the Waters of Mars Doctor Who special offers a far more realistic depiction of Mars, and a superior character drama. The Angry Red Planet earns 2.5 stars out of 5. Thank you for watching. Cheers.